two-speed Europe seems to be around the corner. What are the long-term consequences of possibly even having the European Parliament developing a two-speed mechanism?
It's a big question, and I don't think anybody has the answer to it right now. We certainly don't want to see a two-tier Europe emerge, and we certainly want to remain at the very heart of the European decision-making process. I think that if you look at the 17 versus the 27, the interesting thing about the 10 who are not in the Eurozone is that they have very divergent priorities. Some of them are very, very anxious to join the Eurozone and are looking forward to the day, even now in the current crisis, looking forward to the day when they can become part of the monetary union and much closer fiscal integration and economic integration, like Lithuania, for example, and many others. And then you have the UK, which is obviously going on a different path, who's debating next week in their parliament the option of leaving the European Union, which is interesting in itself. And I think those issues need to be reconciled. And I think as we plan a path forward for the euro, for the monetary union, stabilising it, making it work in a way that it should have worked from the very beginning, we have to do so with those member states in mind who want to join, and we should certainly be engaging and involving them, and also trying to expedite their joining the union, the monetary union. That would be my view on that. And then the question will ultimately have to be posed, well, what about those who have no intention of joining? It's in our interest to have as much decision making as possible amongst the EU 27, obviously from the point of view of coherence and inclusion and so on, but on the other hand, we can't afford to have the non-Euro member states, those who have no intention of ever joining the monetary union, holding the monetary union back. So that's definitely a dilemma, and I don't have any simple solution to it. I see the problem. I think it will require some form of soul searching. I don't like to go back to the whole idea of navel gazing as we did for 10 years almost in devising the Lisbon Treaty, but certainly there has to be some serious thought put into how we advance the European project, how we advance the monetary union project, how we find a framework for it to last and withstand crises in the future, while also respecting the fact that certain member states have no intention of ever being part of that. That's a very big dilemma, I would think, and I don't think there are any simple solutions to it. But we have to have this discussion. I don't know that we can do it in the context of knee-jerk responses to the current crisis. I think we need to deal with the bank recapitalisation issue, we need to deal with the Greek issue, we need to deal with what's going to happen in terms of firewalls and preventing contagion in the short and medium term. And when we have that much decided amongst ourselves, then we need to set about deciding the architecture for the future stability of the currency, and that will take more time, and I would not like to see a knee-jerk response to the current crisis in order to have that discussion, but at the same time the current crisis has to inform that discussion. But I think there has been a lot of loose talk, quite frankly, of treaty changes. That's not to say that treaty changes won't be needed in the future, but you cannot negotiate complex treaty changes amongst 27 member states with this current storm as a backdrop. I think that would be a very dangerous way to set about decision making and complex institutional changes within the union. It's not a good way to do it.